another elimination game here with two 0-1 teams, huh, Donnie?
No, yeah, exactly. If you take a now, which one of the Bears are we going to see in this one, Whale Capri? Are we going to see the Bears that came out efficient on offense? We're going to get the ones in the second half that play a little bit tentative and on 3rd and 1 don't hand the football off and clinch the football game against the Green Bay Packers? Or are we getting value, or the public said, hey, man, Chicago Bears look really good. Oh, my God, Russell Wilson, they lost already, and they're going to have their second road game. I think the Bears are getting a little bit of hypeness right now because of how they looked against Green Bay last week, now traveling across country. But the Seahawks have been in this mold, but they're coming in banged up in this one, man.
Yeah, I ended up playing the Bears here, and probably my least confident player of the week because Russell Wilson is absolutely magical on Monday Night Football. But I'm basically, putting a lot of stock in maybe my favorite angle, situational angle all season is to fade the team on the back-to-back road spot in week 2. Seattle qualifies for that here, having traveled to elevation last week to play in Denver. Now they go to Chicago on Monday night. So I'm basically counting on second half overall. The Seahawks are just going to be playing with dead legs out there. And hopefully Jordan Howard and company, I think Matt Nagy probably learned a lot from that, losing from ahead. The thing that shakes my confidence a little bit in the Bears is just kind of like you mentioned, like, what does a loss like that do to your psyche? You have, a 20-point lead against the Packers. You think you maybe ended Aaron Rodgers' season. Oh, lo and behold, he comes back out and he leads the Packers to an improbable comeback, and you grasp a loss out of you take a loss out of the hand of victory, and it's if they can bounce back, it'll be a credit to Nagy and his coaching staff really having that locker room, the defense is pretty damn good. They're going to be able to get after Russell Wilson. Khalil Mack, we saw him make an instant difference on that defensive line in the first half of that game against the Packers. Against an overmatched Seattle offensive line, I could see another handful of sacks for the likes of Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith, who looked pretty good as well. I'll take my chances here that that Nagy and company have a good coaching staff in place, and they get these guys' minds right, and they get a win and kind of right the ship from what looked like a really promising start that didn't come to be.
No, I agree with you, because I think the coaching staff is good enough, and I think the players are good enough on the defensive side to say, you know what, we had this game in the bag and let it not slip away. I can almost see that. Not running out to a 20-0 lead on Seattle, but you get that lead, maybe a 10-3, a 14-7 lead, and you say, you know what, we were here last week, we didn't close the door. Let's maybe be a little bit more aggressive on offense and let the play come to us, as opposed to letting the other team say, oh, we're going to read and react on this. But I love the fact if you don't have a good pass rush against Russell Wilson, he's going to be able to make plays back there and sit back there for damn near 5 to 10 seconds till somebody comes open. The Bears should be able to get after and put a clamp down. Banged up defense there. And again, Michael Kendrick's trying to come in like on a short week to help out. I just don't see a lot of energy here from the Seattle Seahawks moving forward, because what's their MO for the year anyway? A lot of people writing them off. People want out, or Thomas wants to leave and all that. But I think the Chicago Bears at home will be able to take care of business and get this game done by 7 points here on Monday Night Football.
I think I'm back in action. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Nice. I am back in action. I would have stood up, but then you would notice that I don't wear pants when I do these shows. Bears open -3, now -3.5. I have something that's happened to me now, is that I've started to despise Pete Carroll. Every year I start disliking him more and more and more. And now I absolutely despise him. I see him as just this pompous asshole, just arrogant and
smacking his gum.
Oh God! Now I want this team to lose, even though I'm from the Pacific Northwest. The Seahawks look like they're going to be without several key players. KJ Wright still not back.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Baldwin's going to be out for a while. DJ Fluker. We already talked about the 4 Pro Bowlers that aren't on the team anymore, and Sherman Chancellor. Well, not on the team, but Sherman Chancellor, Avril Bennett. You know what? I think that the Broncos are not as good as I thought they were. And I still think the Seahawks are bad. I want to take the Bears here. Now at -3, I find it a lot more appealing than -3.5. You guys talked about how good Khalil Mack looked immediately. I did not like Trubisky, and I'm not really sold on him. Sacked 4 times, struggled in the second half when they needed a a play out of when they needed him to show some character. He wasn't able to do it. And then back on the Seahawks side of things, there's just no running game. I mean, I was expecting a ton more from Penny. Carson looked okay. I mean, this is just such a weak Seahawks team. I want to jump on the Bears. And if you guys don't mind, if you could just touch on the total here. Opened at 43.5, now at 43. Why don't we start with you, Donnie? What are you thinking on the total here?
Yeah, I mean, with the way the two teams play football out there, I'm going to lean towards the under in that situation, but we're not talking about like 47. I mean, it's 43 on Monday Night Football. If we get some good weather, I'm going to expect some points to be put up because Russell Wilson is going to be running for his life, which is a good and a bad thing because it might force turnovers or force broken plays that we know he does very well downfield. I can see this game playing into the 20s there, somewhere ending up maybe a 27-21 type final, 27-24 type final. This one, I'll lean on the over just because that point spread is really low for a total in this game.
What do you think of Whale Capper?
Yep. It's weird. We're seeing these totals on these Seattle games that's implying that they still have an all-world defense, and they certainly are. They certainly are suspect at best. I mean, they were able to get to 24 against Denver, which is a legit defense. They did so a lot by exploiting a mismatch. Denver, for whatever reason, can't cover the tight end position. They have this one glaring weakness, and Seattle took advantage of it. I think the Bears are better at covering the tight end, so they may be able to take away that one look that they had that they got some pretty easy points against Denver on, which maybe leads me if I agree that the over probably is the right look because this price is too low. But again, I would maybe look more at a team total over on Chicago rather than taking the over for the game just in case Khalil Mack owns Monday night.
Yeah, I think these are great breakdown guys. Great breakdowns, guys. And great job, Whale Capper. You didn't even know what games we were going to be hammering, and you were so great with all of them. Is there a spot in the games that we didn't speak on, Whale Capper? Is there a game or a play or a total, something that you like in the earlier stuff?
Yeah, I wanted to mention. You talked about the. I got a better feel for totals this week. I feel like, and I'm on the under in the Redskins Colts game. You have two teams that played indoors last week in comfortable conditions, and now they go outdoors onto a pretty sloppy field in FedEx Field when things are good at sloppy, and you could have the potential for weather on top of that. Why this is drifting up into the 48 range is completely beyond me. We saw Andrew Luck throw 50 53 passes, something like that. Most of them were short passes. Yes. He's not going for the home runs. His arm strength is not 100% yet. So I'm not, if Colts are scoring points, I'm expecting it to be in long sustained drives, not in boom or bust type of plays. And so and on top of that, I don't think you really want Andrew Luck coming back and getting into form, throwing the ball 53 times in this game. And if you can get Marlon Mack back into the mix, you can maybe establish the run a little bit. Maybe that shortens the game. And on the other side of things, I think the Redskins are the right side on this one. And we saw what they did against the Cardinals. They were able to salt away that lead like no problem. This offensive line has a bunch of road graders on it. And if they need to, run the ball to put away the game, they've got the ability to do it, especially at home. And so if the Skins can get up by double digits in this one, I think they shorten the game just on kill the clock in the second half. So give me the under 48 in this one all day long.
I like that. And the total move from 47 down to 45.5, jumping up to 48.5 really caught me by surprise. Donnie, do you have any notes on Whale Capper liking that under?
No, I mean, I would tend to agree because if you're looking at a number that high, and again, it's rising up because a lot of people thought there's going to be some weather conditions, but now you might be stealing, an extra 2.5, 3 points if there is no weather conditions in that game. If you watched last week, to me, again, it all gets back to like, what are you going to get out of it? I didn't think Andrew Luck would throw the ball 53 times. I was on record and astonished that he actually did. But when you look from an Alex Smith standpoint, he's not a total over quarterback for me because he's not the guy I like to talk about Drew Brees. It's like, I'm going to get mine regardless of the score. When that game needs to be put away, he's going to get the first down. Alex Smith is not going 7-step drop play action with 5 minutes to go in the football game to put the game away by scoring a touchdown. He's going 3-step drop, watch me juke one guy, dump it off off the flat for a 7-yard gain, and we run the clock out the rest of the way. Styles have to make fights. Alex Smith is not a guy that's going to be a gunslinger, more first downs than touchdowns. I like where he's going with the under in this one because, again, you're getting a number that's going to be in the high 40s, 48.5, 49, 50 in that range, maybe by game time. You're going to lean on the under in those situations, right?
And these guys
I love what you said about Styles. Yeah. That is, the only style that kind of plays against the under in this one is that if the Colts just go out and light the scoreboard up in the first half.
Yeah.
And I give that a pretty low probability. So, this is probably my favorite total of the week, under 48. I guess under 47. I would take it under even lower and get a more favorable price.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.